Resource extraction projects aimed at reducing a society's carbon footprint are in some ways not necessarily better than their non-renewable counterparts. That's partly because many corporations leading these projects do so on the homelands of Indigenous peoples without meaningfully consulting with them first.
I think that's the big distinction. If business is being done, as usual and status quo, the way that it is always done, then, what is the difference?
Lisa
And
Raven
so,
is a land
the
guardian who
word
attended an
that,
Indigenous-led
I
summit in Geneva, Switzerland this October about the issue. 95 Indigenous peoples representing communities from across the globe attended to share their perspectives and lived experiences. Raven went as a member of Camp Morningstar, a land defender group located next to Lake Winnipeg in Manitoba, and as part of the Coalition for Securing Indigenous Peoples' Rights in the Green Economy, or SURGE. She says transitioning to a green economy, one that hopes to mitigate climate change by investing in renewable energy projects, may sound nice, but just because the end product may be renewable doesn't mean the process to get it is always environmentally friendly.
the word that got coined and I heard a lot over there was green colonization. And greenwashing, all of these projects, for sake of the environment, but meanwhile, it's harmful for the environment.
She says projects like silica sand mining, which Camp Morningstar is fighting against in their traditional territory near Hollowwater First Nation, still affect the environment even if the product will be used for things like solar glass panels instead of fracking for fossil fuels. Raven believes that's why Indigenous people whose land the projects will operate on should be informed and included in the development process. People who have an intrinsic responsibility and connection to the lands affected.
Because these decisions, they don't only impact us today, but they're going to impact people for years to come. I think that was what was so striking for me in Geneva, was hearing from a lot of the different peoples, how today their women and their reproductive systems are being impacted from projects in the past.
At the summit, the Indigenous representatives created a document outlining 11 principles that corporations and governments must adhere to when creating these projects to respect the rights of and protect the well-being of Indigenous people. They include transparency, ending the criminalization of Indigenous environmental defenders, and recognizing the role Indigenous peoples play as guardians of their lands. Raven says the summit was eye-opening and that she's grateful to have attended.
I think bringing everybody together to share that, and to create that understanding, and that relationship, I think that only makes us stronger, as Indigenous people, and as a voice.
Sav Jones, APTN National News, Winnipeg.